If you don't understand the triggers that move these markets, you are literally leaving generational wealth on the table. You're just watching from the sidelines as others make moves you don't even see coming. Now, for everyone watching in the US, this isn't just some theory. A massive, almost $2 trillion reversal just blindsided the entire market. So the real question is, were you on the right side of that trade, or were you left holding the bag with everybody else? And here's the crazy part, the big twist. While the entire mainstream narrative was bracing for a massive oil shock, we're talking $150 a barrel, the exact opposite happened. Oil didn't just fall, it experienced one of the most historic single-day crashes we have ever seen.
Okay, so let's get right into it. By the end of this analysis, I am going to show you the precise step-by-step chain of events. You'll know the one trigger that flipped this entire market on its head, and more importantly, you'll have the framework to spot the next one before it's too late.
So it all started with a single catalyst. Section 1, the Hormuz ultimatum. This was the geopolitical event that lit the fuse. The language was unmistakable. President Trump came out and announced that the immediate threat in the Strait of Hormuz was neutralized, and then he laid down this ultimatum. This wasn't a suggestion. It was a clear, hard line in the sand, telling the market that the geopolitical risk premium was, for all intents and purposes, gone, instantly. Which brings us directly to Section 2, oil's historic collapse. You see, when a multi-billion-dollar risk premium gets erased overnight, the market's reaction isn't subtle. It's violent, and it's immediate. And just look at the sheer scale of this move. We're talking oil going from a peak fear price of $119 a barrel all the way down to $81. That is a 32% collapse in a matter of hours, all because that one risk factor was taken off the board.
And this leads us to Section 3, the $2 trillion rebound. With the threat of an oil crisis completely vaporized, a tidal wave of capital came rushing out of safe havens and began flooding back into risk-on assets, starting with the U.S. stock market.
The numbers here are just staggering. First up, the S&P 500 saw an injection of $900 billion. And it didn't stop there. The tech-heavy Nasdaq soaked up another $685 billion as market confidence came roaring back. And this wasn't just a big cap rally. The Russell 2000 jumped over 2.2%, showing you just how broad this recovery really was. You add it all up, roughly $2 trillion flooded the U.S. stock market in hours. This is what we're talking about. These are the moves that define portfolios. Here at Crypto Global News, this is exactly what we track. And frankly, if you are watching this without a subscription, you are missing the alerts. Click subscribe right now to stay on the timeline. So, that brings us to the big question in Section 4. What about crypto? How did digital assets handle this extreme volatility? The answer? Flawlessly. At the absolute moment of peak fear, Bitcoin held its critical macro support at 65.7. XRP did the exact same, holding daily support at $1.33. And then, as soon as the reversal hit, they exploded. Bitcoin blasted right back over 70K, and XRP pushed towards 140. Textbook strength. And we saw that strength across the entire sector. The total crypto market cap rebounded with force to $2.37 trillion, confirming risk-on sentiment was back in a big way. Now, with this confirmed reversal, I want to know what you think. What are your price targets now? Let us know in the community post for this analysis. Okay, so now for the final and maybe the most important piece of this puzzle, Section 5, the contrarian signal. How could you have actually timed the exact bottom of this entire move? You look for the moment of maximum pessimism. Right here, late at night, just a few hours before the bottom was in, Jim Cramer posts this, saying he sees no path to de-escalation. That's your signal. I mean, this timeline says it all. Late at night, you get the mainstream bearish post marking peak fear. A few hours later, in the early morning, the de-escalation announcement drops. And then, at market open, the $2 trillion reversal is already underway. It is a perfect textbook example of a contrarian indicator. But look, analysis like this is useless if you get it a day late. For real-time intelligence that cuts through all the noise and gives you these signals before they play out, you need to join my Telegram. Scan the QR code on your screen or use the link in the description. That's where you get this information first. So here's the bottom line. This $2 trillion move already happened. It's in the history books.
The real question you should be asking is, what is the next multi-trillion-dollar catalyst that we're tracking right now? Our full analysis on that is already done, and it's in this next briefing. Click the card on your screen to watch it now.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.